have Windows installation media plugged in, but we're going to turn on the computer. Turns on just fine like it did last night when we were, testing it out. We never plugged it into a display. But the next thing we'll do is go into the BIOS, and I'm going to just going to set XMP. I'm also going to basically probably put a undervolt on the CPU because it is a 12700KF in there with just like a little air cooler. So I think that undervolt would do pretty nicely on that. And yeah, so let me go ahead and position this camera over here to where it was kind of like just be on the display. All right, so I'm going to hit, let me not get in the way there. I'm going to go ahead and hit yes, or probably, what does it say? F1. I'm going to hit F1. Welcome, Reluctant Hero. How you doing? So now we're in the BIOS, and I'm glad you're here because I think you're the guy that wanted to see how to do the undervolt. Let me switch back to the DJI cam, get this a bit closer. Go. It's pretty close. All right, so now we're in the BIOS here. And the first thing I'm going to do is go into advanced mode. That's in the bottom right on this BIOS. Then I'm going to go to AI Tweaker because this is a ASUS motherboard, okay? Then I'm going to go down to AI Overclocker and hit XMP1. I haven't tried XMP tweaked, actually. I have no idea if that's stable. We can, no, I wouldn't try that yet because the last thing you want, boys, is to set up Windows in an unstable environment. Usually you would actually want to enable XMP after Windows is installed, but just to make things go a little bit quicker, I'm going to do XMP first. I'm going to do an undervolt first. I practice it that way unless I'm dialing in like a personal system. That's just the way I do it. So, okay, you're folding your laundry. Okay, cool. So we're going to enable XMP. Next thing I'm going to enable, which would be under the advanced tab, is what you would call it, rebar. And rebar is already enabled on this BIOS. That tells me this is a recent BIOS. It says 2024 in the BIOS for this. Now, before I give this to the client, I should probably update the BIOS considering it's LGA 1700. However, this is a 12700K, so I don't know if I will or not. These old BIOSes kind of run better for performance. And then for the undervolt, it's under the AI Tweaker tab. We're going to go down here to, let's see, what is it on this one? So actual the core voltage, we're going to do an offset. Okay, I'm going to select negative offset. And then under CPU core voltage offset, I'm going to do 0.05. And my computer is actually connected to the sound bar in my weight room right now, so I'm going to turn that off. And then, yeah, we're good now. Another thing that is a modern feature you're going to want to enable is secure boot. So if you go to boot, secure boot, and then make sure it is, I'm going to standard here. I'm not sure how to enable it here. I think that's okay. Or Windows 11. Yeah, Windows custom mode. I'll keep it in custom. Okay, so what we did is just basically apply XMP. This is not a Z690 board, it's a B board, so there's no core overclocking or anything like that. So we're basically just gonna keep that there. Now I think I could lock the volt or the core clocks, and that's something I would usually do, but I don't think I'm gonna bother with a customer PC like that. So now that we're booting back in, the main thing we're gonna need now, I keep it down here in my drawer, is a Windows 11 installation media. So you get this on a flash drive, all right? And on this flash drive, let me turn the pocket camera back on, is basically a Windows 11 Pro ISO, okay? What you do to get this is you go to Microsoft's website. All you'll have to do is type in Windows 11 ISO for flash drive, whatever. You go to their website. You have to have a computer to actually download this in the first place. I know it's kind of dumb, but yes, you do already need a computer to get your computer up and going. You'll go to their website. You'll plug in a USB drive to your computer. You'll download that file, and it's just an exe file that you'll run, and then you'll select this USB drive to download Windows to, okay? So once you download Windows to that USB drive, it'll say it's complete, it's ready. You eject it, you take it out, and then you got yourself a key ready for downloading Windows, okay? So the next thing, we haven't plugged this in yet, so we booted right back into the BIOS. So what I need to do is plug this bad boy in. I'm gonna just plug it in the front right here. I usually plug it in the back because those ports are usually faster, but I think it ought to be okay. And I'm simply just gonna reset the PC. All right. Oh, is my audio sync off? Dude, this DJI camera doesn't sync up with audio. So let's see. I'll switch to that. I'm not sure how to fix that, boys. I do not know how to fix that because like on my main camera it's synced up. I can apply a, on the audio I can apply a delay. That's like the best I can do. Sync offset. How far is it off? Like by like a whole second. All right, but as you can see, we are in Windows now. Do 30 millisecond offset. So how is it, let's see. How is it now? Is my voice even more off than it was before? Or is it closer to where we need to be? Honestly, you don't even need to see my face for this. It doesn't really matter. But let's get back into the whole Windows thing. So we have our USB key plugged in here, all right? Next, we're gonna go into Windows. You just plug that in, you restart your computer, and it will boot right into Windows for you, okay? So I was about to turn it off. No, we need to switch to our other camera here. And I'm just gonna hit next. I mean, I assume that you boys should know how to do this. Oh, it's actually good. So 30 millisecond offset, that actually fixed it. While it's loading into Windows. Oh, okay. So yeah, let's see. They just accept their term and conditions to basically spy on you forever. Instead of hit upgrade, you're gonna hit custom Windows install. And then here is where you'll be in your drive areas. Let me switch, I wanna get the camera closer. I really want you guys to be able to see this good. All right, and that looks almost worse in a way. Oop. Okay, so it is better with that. So here is where this will look different if you have a used drive. If you have a used drive, you're actually going to have to hit all of the partitions and then hit format or hit delete. I would usually hit delete right there, but since this drive has never been used, I'm just going to hit click on it and then hit next. But let's say you had one drive, but you see multiple partitions, and that means that drive is used. And you'll have to delete all those partitions, and then it should look like this, where it's just one drive. If you have multiple drives, I recommend if you want a particular drive to be your Windows drive, you just install that first. Later, you can install your multiple drives after when you've done Windows. So we're gonna hit next. On a modern PC, this goes by pretty quick. So we have, 20 threads with the 12700KF, and we have, a fast NVMe. So it's not gonna be that long, but I wanna show you guys my garage setup here because it's kind of cool. Let's see. Okay, so this is where I build, well, not really build. This is where I test and install Windows on a lot of my computers. I used to build computers here in my garage, but I found it got too hot. And once FlexiSpot sent me that desk, which it's an amazing desk, by the way, check out my review for the affiliate link. I kind of just built inside my office. It's cramped in there, but it also got cramped in here. And it gets super hot in here when I'm like working out because I do have a weight set right here. I actually hit a workout right before the live stream today. Very good weight set, I must say. My wife helped me clean up the garage a little bit. And I recently, like a few months ago, bought a AC because, dude, it gets so hot in here in Texas, and that AC puts in work. It shoots out air that's like 68 degrees, or maybe it's like 61 degrees. Really good. I got it for like 150 bucks off Walmart, and I recommend it. So yeah, we are still actually installing Windows here. It's only on 22% of this next step. So yeah, but this is my setup. I have another computer down there. This is the 2080 Ti 14600K system. Still has not sold, so waiting for that to sell. But I have it listed for $1,000. I think that's a pretty good deal for like how new it looks and everything. And so basically, that 2080 Ti was underperforming, and by like 50% of what it should be. And I'm like, what the heck? I thought it was the power supply. Turns out it was overheating, but not on the core temp, on the hotspot temp. And that's really important considering, modern gen graphics cards don't have the hotspot temp. So the regular temperature of that card, like the average temp was like 65 degrees. And I'm like, what's going on here? And it wasn't consuming that much power, so I thought it was the power supply. Turns out the hotspot temp was at 109 Celsius. And I repasted it with some really good paste that one of my members sent me, member of the channel, and it doubled the performance. And now it runs like a beast, and I put an undervolt on it, and it's a great card. With 11 gigs of VRAM, 2080 Ti goes hard. So it looks like we just finished here. Well, I almost fell. It just booted back into Windows. So I didn't have to press any buttons for that. It just kind of did it. It's gonna boot back in to the installation, but you'll see like your motherboard logo on there. Sorry guys, I haven't looked at the chat as much. Chat's all the way over here. Oh no, my Core Ultra 7 box fell, my 265K. I have it displayed up in here. It's pretty cool. This was my 13700K that I rocked before it. They look nice. I definitely prefer the new box. I like this branding. I like the font better. I don't know. Looks cooler. Oh, no one said anything in the chat, so I haven't really missed anything. So how's the audio sound today? It's really echoey in here for me in this garage. So for you guys, I'm not sure. Another thing about this garage, let's see, is there's actually only one power plug in this whole garage, and it's all the way over there past the weight set. So what I did is got like a 30-foot extension cable, and I ran it like all the way over there across the ceiling. You can see it, right? and then I brought it down here, and then I ran another extension cable all the way over there to the AC. And something else you'll notice is there's Ethernet down there. I ran that from my router outside my house all the way to my garage because I pay like $100 a month for fiber 2.5 gig up and down. And that makes downloading games on this thing just so fast. Like it's amazing. And all the motherboards I buy now are like 2.5 gig, but just in case they aren't, where is it? Just in case the games aren't, I bought this, where is it? This 2.5 gig adapter off AliExpress for like $3. It's just USB-A to 2.5 gig Ethernet. Works really well. We're actually streaming off just Wi-Fi 7 right now off my Lunar Lake laptop. It's doing AV1 encoding. So hopefully it's doing a good job. But yeah, it looks like we're into Windows now. So you actually aren't at this point just going to hit yes. What you want to do is you're actually going to hit F10 shift. Hold on. I have to hit the function key on this mini keyboard. Okay, so you're going to hit F10 and shift at the same time. And that's going to bring up the CMD, okay? Then you're going to do OOBE / bypass NRO, okay? You hit enter, then you go back into that environment, but this time you can bypass the internet requirement in setting up an account. Now, modern versions of Windows 11 ISOs don't let you do this. This is one that I've had for years that I just keep on reusing. I should probably back it up somewhere just in case this USB drive blows up because I haven't. But I'm sure you can find these versions online. But you definitely want to get an older version because if you're flipping PCs, you do not want to put your own account on a PC you're going to give away. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So I'm just going to go through the setup here. I'm going to skip. And this is the part that it lets you skip. If I didn't do that before, I wouldn't have this button to click I do not have internet, right? So I'm going to click I do not have internet. That allows me to bypass the account setup. And I haven't plugged in Ethernet or anything like that yet. And then I'm just going to give them a name of user. They can change that later. And then on enter or on password, I'm just going to hit enter. So there's no password that I have to remember and tell them later. For these, I usually just leave on location because it's kind of nice for when you're looking up like where a food, like a restaurant is, or like if you want to know weather on your PC. Other than that, I turned all that other stuff off because it's basically just spyware. Now we're going to load in to Windows. I probably should have wiped this screen off before. It's pretty dusty in here. I don't know if that makes it, yeah, well, that makes it way better. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, so basically that's the whole Windows dealio. As soon as this thing loads up into Windows, I'm going to plug in a Ethernet to it, basically, and that's going to get all those Windows updates turning out really quick. And then I'm going to do, since it's an NVIDIA card, I'm going to do, you know, the NVIDIA app. I'm going to download Steam. I'm going to download 3D Mark, let it do all of its updates, and then hit restart, and then run a 3D time spy benchmark. Now, I know you guys wanted me to test out Battlefield 6, but actually today I don't have a ton of time, so I don't know if we'll be able to do that. We'll definitely be able to download Battlefield 6 in like 2 seconds. I just don't know if we're going to have time to test it, but we can try. We can try that too. I think we're almost done. Yeah, so we're in Windows now. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and plug in my Ethernet. My Ethernet's actually right here. See, I just haven't ran. All right, so this it should appear down here pretty soon. One of the things I'm going to do is check and see if our RAM is running at the correct speed. Yeah, 6,000. That is good. Armory Crate. This is something you don't usually want to do, to be honest with you. You just want to go download the chipset drivers without that. Yeah, it's 12700 KF, 32 gigs of DDR5, 1 terabyte NVMe, and then our Ethernet. It doesn't recognize the graphics card yet. I'm going to go ahead and eject that USB drive and put it back in my drawer for safekeeping. So yeah, we are connected to the internet now, so I'm gonna go ahead and do Steam. And it's gonna be just running quick. Like, look how fast Steam will download. If it shows up, oh, I have to click this one. See, boom, it doesn't even say complete, it's just done. And then the NVIDIA app. Another thing I'll start is search for updates down here. We got a multi-core CPU, so we can do all this at once. And bada bing, bada boom. I like to pull up Task Manager to see how the system's running. Usually when you actually use a lot of internet, it will actually stress your CPU out a lot, especially if you download like a game really quick. Yeah, I know you can turn off Armory Crate in the BIOS. I probably should do that. But welcome, Planner Channel. And it looks like we just got a basic NVIDIA driver downloaded for our RTX 5050. Heck yeah. Let's see, which driver is this? Well, this is from, what is that, June? Driver from June. I don't even think the RTX 5050 was out then. And we're gonna go to drivers, we're gonna download, and it's gonna download insanely quick because my internet is insane. And then for Steam, I'm just gonna hit install and then run. So another thing you want to do, like I said, is get chipset drivers. So we're going to type in 760M Asus. I forgot what else it's called. Is it the Prime? I can't remember. Yeah, it's this one. This is the motherboard we got. So I'm going to go to support up here. Then I'm going to go to drivers. I probably missed it. Chipset. I'm going to do probably should do LAN and audio as well. And Windows can install that stuff for you, but you might as well get the right version of it. So I'm going to move my camera so you guys can't see my Steam login here. You aren't getting my Steam library, heck no. I'm going to install the drivers. And typically, guys, I'll do this like while I'm working out in here. Like, it's all pretty easy for me, right? Like, I just have like this whole setup right here, and then the weight set's right over there. I just kind of hit my sets, you know, like I work out kind of like a bro with bro splits and all that. So I'll hit my like bench press, I'll do pull-ups or whatever, squats, and then I'll come over here on the rest sets and then just click a button, like click install the driver, click install the game, right? Also, I do testing and stuff while I'm working out in here. Like I'll load into a Fragpunk match or whatever. But yeah. Then also I have all like my little goodies down here. I have a motherboard. What else do we have? There is a 2080 Super. And then this is a RX 7600. Probably can't see it yet. RX 7600. Bought those both locally for a really good price. So they'll be in future build videos for you guys to see. And then down here we have a Legacy 7700K system. I think it's like a Z390 board. And it just works as a test board for if I'm wanting to test a graphics card out that I think is there's something wrong with it. So these drivers do take a long time to download. That's like an annoying thing. So I'm going to download 3D Mark. And then I usually also download Fragpunk, because that is the showcase game that but I'm going to wait to do that, because I usually wait until it restarts, Windows restarts, to do that one. Also, I would wait till all these updates apply to download your chipset drivers, or install them. So I'm going to wait to install all of these chipset. Now, important thing to note is, like, if you have a motherboard and you install Windows, you actually won't have Wi-Fi. You'll have, on many boards, and this happened the other day when I was helping somebody build a PC, you install Windows and you cannot connect to the internet over Wi-Fi because you don't have the Wi-Fi driver. So you actually have to, it's going crazy right now because of the graphics drivers, but you actually have to either plug in Ethernet, or you have to go on a different PC, download that Wi-Fi driver, and then plug in a USB and then extract it and run it on your new gaming PC. So 3D Mark is downloaded. I'll go ahead and launch it because it has to do all these Microsoft DirectX 12 and downloads and things like that when you run a game. So yeah, another thing, and oh my gosh, dude, let me tell you boys, no hate, no hate. I'm not going to mention who this was in the Discord, but someone in the Discord said that to fix high power consumption with their 7900 XTX graphics card, all you have to do is lower your display hertz in Windows display settings to 60. Little does he know that limits your display refresh rate to 60 FPS, no matter what. Even if you're gaming, your game can run at 200 FPS, but if your display is at 60, you're only going to see 60. So the next step is actually to right-click your desktop here, go to Display Settings. Once your graphics drivers are installed, go to Advanced Display. Get off of 60 hertz. Look at this. This looks horrible. Get off 60 and go to the glorious 144 or whatever your max refresh rate is, okay? And I know on the camera it still looks bad, but in real life this looks so much better. This looks so much better, bro. Oh. Lowest quality to go is B760. Depends on your chip, man. If you're rocking a 12100, like, you could go H610 if you only want to spend a little bit of money and you don't have plans to use all the NVMe slots or anything like that. Now, me personally, I always go for my personal builds, even if I'm rocking like a i3, I go for Z class because I know I want to overclock. I know I want to tune. Even if the chip is locked, I know in the future I'm going to upgrade. So that's what I do. But yeah, we're at 144 hertz now. I'm going to go ahead and download, what is it? Time Spy. And you guys are lucky. We're going to get a little cheeky overclock in because I'm very interested in overclocking this RTX 5050. We're going to download MSI Afterburner and get this thing overclocked just to get a higher score. I do overclock it a lot of the times to get higher scores, and then I like take off the overclock if I don't think it's stable. I know that's probably like false marketing, but is what it is, bro. For the 2080 Ti, I put on overclock and an undervolt, and I'm leaving it because it actually runs so much better with that tune. You think Z790 boards are gonna be hard to find? I know that, dude. I'm calling it now, dude. LGA 1700 CPUs are just gonna be the meta for PC building, just because like no one wants Intel right now. They're scared of the degradation issues and things like that. And those are good CPUs. If you tune those CPUs, they're so good. So yeah, we're gonna run MSI Afterburner. See, we already downloaded that benchmark. I'm just gonna close that. Okay, do not install Norton for Gamer. That is actual malware. I wonder how much they had to pay MSI for that, or whoever built this. I don't know if this is actually made by MSI or not. Yeah, undervolting is actually OP, bro. I just put an undervolt on this 12700KF. Like, this 12700KF has an undervolt on it right now. Negative 0.5, and it's gonna run cool. Dude, this RAM looks sick. Too bad it's like 130 bucks now. I literally bought it for like 80 bucks. But yeah, RTX 5050 is going to get crazy overclocking on it. Oh, the fans aren't even going. Fans aren't even going. See, but this PC for the money, bro, looks pretty darn good. What happens if we get Inception right here? Oh. Okay. Let's install this. If I was smart, I probably would download the EA launcher right now and start downloading Battlefield. I'm not going to download Riva Tuner just because I'm not going to monitor that. Right? I don't really care about monitoring it through that right now. That's just one more thing I'll have to uninstall for this person. So what do you boys think of the garage live stream? I know it's crooked right now. The camera's actually crooked. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna apply overclock yet. I wanna download our Windows updates. You don't really wanna overclock too much until all of your Windows stuff is downloaded, to be honest, or it's just gonna be a nightmare. All right, restart. This is gonna take a little bit, probably at least 5 minutes. Maybe not though, depends. So tell me, why do you think Z790 boards are gonna be scarce and cost more? I don't know. I mean, these boards with the LGA, you know, pin arrays, what is it called? LGA, what does that stand for? I don't know. I know the last two is pin array. People bend the pins, right? So the boards eventually over time die, but the CPUs remain. And that's probably why motherboards cost more in the long run than the CPUs on a platform. Motherboards tend to actually go up in value over time after their initial drop. So, yeah. Look at this, man. This is a nice setup. I have all my like previous, this is like 1/100th of what I built. Maybe, probably even less than that. But some of the things I thought were cool I kept up here. This is a AM4 gigabyte motherboard that never worked. I bought it off a guy and it never worked, and he just said he Venmoed me the money back. Cool, dude. Um, and then RX 9070 non-XT, I did buy that. I have an ARC B580 or B570 up there. This is an RTX 5070 box. And then, I got a Ryzen box, another Ryzen box, Intel boxes. See, I buy all the stuff, bro. I buy Intel and AMD. Now, personally, I like rocking NVIDIA. It's better. That's just my thoughts. But I will sell stuff. Like, it's not, if you're just gaming, Radeon's cool and all that. But me personally, I like NVIDIA better. Just for what the features and the price they have right now. I think we're finally loading back into Windows. Yeah, dude, I was impressed with the 9070. I got it for $600, but that was like 4 months ago. So it's like, for the time I got it, it was pretty good value. We're close. Yeah, I mean, if you have a K CPU, I think getting a Z board is definitely worth it. Me personally, I wouldn't even get LGA 1851 if it wasn't a Z board, because we've tested it like here on the channel during a live stream. You have to tune Arrow Lake. If you can't tune the die to die or anything like that, just forget about it. It's not worth it. But once you tune the die to die, once you tune, the RAM a little bit, Arrow Lake is a pretty darn good CPU for the price. Yeah, 4070 Ti Super is good. I have a 4080. I'm going to sell it eventually. I'm just waiting for prices to come back up, because I know prices are going to go back up on GPUs and on everything. It's happening on RAM and storage right now. It's going to happen to everything else. We have all these tariffs coming in. Inflation's going crazy. I think once the super cards come out, graphics cards are going to just increase in price again. And then I'll throw my 4080 out for probably what, $700, maybe $800. I'd be willing to sell it for like $700 to $800. All right, come on, get us back in Windows here. All righty. So what was I going to do? I think I was going to run a benchmark. Well, actually, let me install my chipset drivers. That's the Ethernet driver. Installing. Dude, it looks so ding dong blurry on the stream, but in real life it does not look like that. I could have got a capture card instead of just putting my camera back there, but I think it looks cool with the camera. Also, I can like reposition it to look at different things, right? Okay, so we got our LAN driver. Our audio driver, I'll do that. And then lastly, the chipset driver. Oh, it restarted without me consenting. Persian. I guess that GPU prices will go up again after Christmas, when all the vanilla 5000 series have sold through. Yeah, people don't understand, bro. Like, NVIDIA wants to control the market for high prices. Like, they will restrict supply. They will, dude. Like, I guarantee you they're cutting back supply right now for those graphics cards that are hitting MSRP, because they want to make more profit. Dude, and just forget about it. Like, if we go to a new node, forget about high volume graphics cards. Like there's not, it's going to be like Ampere, where like things were just not available. Now, if we were going to 2 nanometer, it would have been worse. Now 3 nanometer, it will be better. But still, it's just like, graphics cards are going to be hard to get, dude. All right, I'll do one more restart, and then we'll be ready to run that benchmark with the overclock. The little Lunar Lake laptop is handling this live stream pretty well, I must say. AV1 encoding right now with this thing. Really do like it. I have it plugged in to a power source right now, and then also to the DJI camera, and then also to another camera over there. So it's doing a lot. Okay, let's run 3D Mark, also MSI Afterburner. What do you guys think I can get on this card? Now, it doesn't have GDDR7, which really sucks, because if it had GDDR7, we could get so much more memory bandwidth out of it. I'm thinking we're going to be able to do, I want to say like plus 300. Can I type in plus 300 on the core and then plus 1,000 on the memory? And then obviously we're going to want to increase our power limit. Holy crap, 15%. All right. So plus 300 on the core, plus 1,000 on the memory. We can't do plus 3,000 because this is not GDDR7, sadly. We'll see if it crashes or not. Bro, we're probably like 8 gens out with AM5 being done, because AMD's just going to come out with rehashed AM5 CPUs for the next 10 years, and people are going to say, "Wow, the longevity's so good." Like I don't get it, man. AMD rebrands Zen 3 and Zen 2 parts and calls it like a XT, like a 5800 XT, like 5 years later. And then people are like, "Dude, AM4 is just amazing." It's like, dude, it's literally a 5800X. And then Intel comes out with a CPU that they rebrand, and then people are like, "Wow, it's dead. Like, why are they re-releasing these CPUs?" You know, it's like the same exact thing. I don't like either one, to be honest with you. I don't like them re-releasing that. I get if they have extra dies, if they want to do that, but the pricing needs to be competitive. This is the RTX 5050, buddy. RTX 5050. Don't let its size fool you. This is ARC B580 Performance, 2080 Super Performance. Once we overclock it, oh, I got to turn the sound down. That's the brightness. Well, I'm going to have to end that test right quick and turn Windows sound off. But yeah, this is the RTX 5050, brother. We have MFG 4X on this, Butter Smoothland. It's pretty glorious. So yeah, I'm going to redo that test. The sound was on. Did not want to hear that. I'm going to do regular time SPI. This is my GPU wall. That is a, right here is a GTX 960, I believe. Let's see, what is this? GTX 960. 2 gigabytes of VRAM. 2 ding dong gigabytes of VRAM. Guess what? The whole reason I bought this thing was to put a stake on it. Literally the whole reason. Never used it. Like, I used it in my my test rig down there just to see if it works. It does work, but I just literally put a ribeye steak on this thing and posted it. You can go back to my post and look at that. Thought that would be cool. And then I have a Wi-Fi or a Ethernet card up here. This is dual 10 gig. I used it for a while, but this one actually burnt up. It just stopped working. So that kind of sucks. These things run really hot. I have another one of these that does work though. And then lastly, we have the Quadro. Got this out of a workstation. I believe this is also 2 gigabytes of VRAM. It's the Quadro 2000. I don't know how much VRAM it has. It doesn't say, but there's a lot of chips on here. So, and I think that test is running now. We'll see it. We'll see it run. You'd love to pick up a 5050 or 5060 to screw around with. Yeah, dude, I really wanted that RTX 5070, dude, for $450 with Arc Raiders, because I want to play Arc Raiders, but I'm just not too keen on paying full price for a new game, to be honest with you boys. It's like you spend money on hardware, you don't lose that money. You can make that back when you sell it. You spend money on a video game, you literally 100% loss right when you sell it, put that sell button. You never get that money back. So yeah, I'm not too keen on that. All these new games I've been playing, I've actually got from buying hardware. I got Borderlands 4 from 5090. Oh, I just hit... Dude, no, my finger hit it. My finger hit the keyboard. That probably invalidated the test right there. Or did it? I don't know. This doesn't seem right. I'm going to restart the test. I just got to leave it alone. Usually this isn't a big deal when I'm just hitting workouts and stuff. I just let it go. Oh, was there a play test? I didn't even know. I could have tried it for free. Yeah, so this thing's missing a fan, and the man didn't tell me on eBay. However, he showed it in the picture. I just didn't notice. Like, it's kind of hard to notice, like, if it's just positioned right. You don't really see it. But yeah, once I got it, I'm like, well, it's missing a fan blade. And I paid $30 for this, like, right when I started my channel, basically. So that was what, a year and a half ago? Not the worst deal ever, I guess. It's basically I mean, it can play games. I looked at it, and the performance is like half of that of a 1060, I think. So back then, 60 class doubled in performance gen over gen. That's a crazy thought. Yeah, don't have a lot of other hardware up here. It's just a lot of boxes. So yeah, that benchmark's running. About to start your 10-hour shift on a Sunday night? That sounds wild, bro. Do you mean on Monday, like tomorrow? Dude, RAM is an actual ripoff now. You're right. So right now, this 5060 Ti is running... Oh, whoa. I got way too close. It's running kind of quiet. You guys might be able to hear it on my mic. I'm standing like right next to it. But it's not an issue right now. Is it hot? No. It's not hot. For the money, this build looks pretty good. I think I spent around $650 on this build. Maybe less. I need to do the math. Probably going to sell it for $800. Maybe $850. I don't know, like I want to just jack up my prices because like if I try to make another one of these builds, it's going to be way more expensive with DDR5 and the SSD prices going up. Also, CPU prices are going up. Like this 12700K is like 190 now. Yeah, that's a little bit too much for a CPU this old, I think. If you guys wondering what those discs are up there, that's Windows 8. I think installation media. Yeah, that Windows did suck, I must say. It was whichever Windows had all those widgets. They were trying to do the Xbox thing. I don't know what's happening to my camera right now. Go back where I told you to. Yeah, this is the build, brothers. PowerShell Jesus. So that reminds me, there is a way to get Windows for free using PowerShell, but I will not show you guys because I don't want to get in trouble. But just maybe look it up. Maybe look up the command for that. The best Z790 was the one I kept with the Asus TUF variant. I think the best Z790 is the Strix board or the Meg Unify, MSI Unify. I wish MSI would send me products. I think MSI is my favorite AIB, to be honest with you guys. My first board was an MSI board. My second board was an MSI board. My first GPU was a Gigabyte board, and I don't really think Gigabyte's that good after my experience with, I've had a couple other boards. Well, I mean, it depends. Like their high-end boards are really good, but they're the middle of the range. It's like, I'd rather go with probably MSI, middle of the range stuff. I don't know. It honestly, it changes every generation. Every generation, there's good products and there's bad products, and it depends on not even the company. Just depends on the SKU. Here, I can mount my DJI camera inside the case. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, I didn't know I could zoom in. What the heck? Like, it's literally mounted in the case now. I love this camera. Can you boys hear it? Let me take off my mic. I'll put it next to it. That's probably pretty loud, I'm sorry. Okay. The 14600K is back up to 200. Yeah, and it doesn't have Battlefield. It's like you guys should have bought like 5 of them when I told you to, back when it had Battlefield. I wish I did. I wish I bought literally like 5 or 6 of them, because all my friends now are buying Battlefield for $70, and I could have sold it to them for like 30 bucks. Bro, DDR4 doesn't make sense anymore though. We're doing CPU tests right now. That's why it's getting louder. I want to see how hot we got on the CPU temp. Okay, we broke 10K with the RTX 5050. So this CPU is only clocking to 4.9, 4.7. I don't know if that's across the P cores or all the cores though. And then our GPU, we're hitting a clean 3.15 gigahertz on the RTX 5050. How hot did we get? The GPU is getting kind of toasty for how little watts this uses. I got up to 80. Then our CPU, of course, got up to like 95. But that's under a max core workload. That's not usually going to happen. We already have a undervolt on. The CPU cooler is kind of dinky, right? It's not the best CPU cooler. But yeah, pretty happy with that. Little powerhouse RTX 5050. Dude, no, I could have used a capture card. It's not hard. Like I didn't mind doing that, but I just think it's nice to have another camera. I don't know. Like you can see my hands. Like I can position that camera to look at something else. It's easy to swap between these two cameras. Like I just press space bar. Yeah, see, the 12100F was amazing value for the longest time. It was like $80 when other CPUs were like, the 12600K was like $180, so, or like $200. So my mini PC, I ended up starting with a 12100F. Then I upgraded 12600K, and then finally it has a 13600K now. And every time I upgraded, I just put that old CPU in a build and sold it for profit, right? But yeah, it says that I am on the high range for that, for this benchmark. I'm actually going to go ahead and take a picture of that because I post this online. Dude, this is Frog Boy style, man. Frog Boy X1 Gaming. Bro, it boys, but come on now, man. Look, this is why it's cool. This is why it's cool. Now you guys can see everything. I like that. I could also have a capture card hooked up in here. I'm sure this laptop could take it. But I'm pretty sure I have to go on a date pretty soon with my wife. Like, I don't know if we have time to test Battlefield 6, boys. If someone donates in the chat, right now, we'll test Battlefield 6. Other than that, I might just end the stream. Do you have any questions about Windows installation? I'm trying to duck, so I'm in frame. Take a squat. What are y'all saying? Yeah, bro. Intel. I'm a shill, dude. Sponsor me. Send me the Nova Lake highest end SKU, the 52 core CPU, please. And a Z990 board. That would be awesome. All right, yeah. I should probably just end the stream. But here's the computer. We have different cross sections of it. Yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and end the stream here, guys. So now you guys know how to install Windows on a computer, right? First, you go get your installation media, right? You plug it into your computer, let Windows download. After that, then you can do your XMP and things like that. I live on the edge, so I did my XMP first. You can also install a new BIOS update if your BIOS is old. This one's a little bit older. I don't really care. 12700K is going to be fine. I might update it before I sell it. And then you're just going to load into Windows and basically install your chipset drivers, NVIDIA drivers, things like that. And you're off to the races. You're basically done. It's not that hard. As you can see, it didn't take very long with me taking breaks and talking and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, sign off the stream. Thank you guys for popping in today. I do not have a video planned yet. I am gonna try to make a video next week. Midterms are hitting pretty hard right now as a PhD student. So these live streams are just a little bit easier with no editing or things like that. But honestly, hardly anyone watches them. But the main people that watch them are like the members of the channel. And honestly, you're the guys that I like talking to the most. So yeah, if you are curious and talking more, get on the Discord. Links in the description below to join the Discord. We have discussions in there like all day long, every day. And also consider joining as a channel member. It costs $1 a month and you get like cool icons by your name. Every now and then I'll schedule an upload and you'll get to watch it instantly, like a day early or something like that. So cool little perks there. Other than that, Silicon Steak signing out.